in the icy shadow of the wall, while the kingdoms of men played their game of thrones. A silent war raged at the edge of the world. Not for power, not for glory, but for survival. The Night's Watch was crumbling. The wall was falling. And the enemy, 100,000 strong, was knocking on the gate. And then, out of the snow and silence, Stannis Baratheon came. After his crushing defeat at the Battle of Blackwater, many wrote Stannis off as a lost cause. His navy was gone. His bannermen had scattered. His pride was shattered. But Stannis was not like other men. He still believed in destiny. He still believed in justice. And with the Red Woman Melisandre whispering prophecy into his ear, he marched north, not to win the Iron Throne, but to save the realm in a way no king had dared to before. While the lords of Westeros schemed in their castles, Stannis answered a greater call. To the north, Mance Rayder, the king beyond the wall, had united clans, tribes, and giants. He wasn't seeking conquest. He was seeking refuge, fleeing from something far worse than men, the White Walkers. But to get south, he had to break the wall. And the Night's Watch stood alone. At Castle Black, fewer than 100 Black brothers held the line. Hungry, injured, outnumbered 1,000 to 1. And then, Stannis arrived. Not with a grand army. Not with siege engines. But with 1,000 mounted soldiers, trained in southern warfare. Disciplined, armored, silent as shadows in the snow. It was the 29th day of the 10th moon. A parley was underway between Mance Rayder and Jon Snow, who had infiltrated the Wildling ranks. Snow tried to buy time, but no one knew how close the storm was. Suddenly, from the woods, from the white mists of dawn, Stannis charged. 1,000 cavalry thundering across the snow. To the Wildlings, it was a nightmare. They had no formation, no discipline. Many were armed with scavenged weapons, knives, clubs, axes. Some had no armor at all, just furs and desperation. They weren't ready for war. They were running from it. Stannis' forces, on the other hand, were cold and clinical. They surrounded the camp, cut off escape routes, and drove their lances through chaos. Mance Rayder surrendered. He refused to kneel, but he laid down his arms. The Wildlings, shocked by the sudden violence, were scattered and leaderless. Stannis didn't just win a battle. He claimed a crown of ice and flame. He marched into Castle Black, looked the Night's Watch in the eye, and said, "You are not alone." No great houses had come. No southern kings had cared. But Stannis did. Not because it gained him favor, but because it was right. He declared himself protector of the realm. And from that day on, the North remembered. 1,000 men, 100,000 enemies, and one man with unyielding resolve. Stannis Baratheon wasn't warm. He wasn't loved. But in that moment, he was needed. And that's what made him powerful. Because in the end, it wasn't fire or steel that defeated the Wildlings. It was discipline. It was timing. And it was a king who came when no one else would.